Sorry if you had to see that whole flip screen thing. That was weird. Oh, what time is it? 1 minute until 9 o'clock. If you're tuning in and you want to find some relaxing music to play in the background, you can go ahead and do that. I won't be playing any music behind me in these live classes because of copyright stuff, and so I don't want to take any chances. So won't be playing any music, so if you want to find your own music, that's fine. You notice I'm sitting in a dining room chair with a nice cushion on it. If you don't have a chair like this without arms, you can always sit on your couch or something, but if you are going to sit on your couch, make sure to put a pillow or something underneath your glutes so you're not sinking into your couch. We want to feel as if we're supported and the spine is being lifted up. If you prefer to sit on the ground, you can cross-legged style, but again, I'd probably recommend putting a cushion or something underneath the glutes to elevate. This makes it much easier. When I first started doing yoga, my teacher Sam begged me, please, Jake, sit on a blanket. And I refused so adamantly. I'm a grown man, I don't need a blanket. And here I am, 7 years later, and I'm still sitting on the blanket because it helps that much. Especially if you're a guy like me who doesn't have great control of their pelvis. And when we sit on the ground, it can provide a lot of pressure on our lower back. So if you are going to sit on the ground, again, blankets always recommended. I think it's about 9:01, so we'll go ahead and get started with today's class. We're going to find ourselves again seated in our chair about halfway up, so we don't want to have our back up against the support of our chair. You'll notice I have my knees about shoulders width. I have my feet parallel. You might not be able to see them, but that's okay. My feet are parallel on the ground, so I don't have my toes angled out. Allow my shoulders to sink down away from my ears, and the crown of my head gently reaches up toward the stars. Now, friends, when I say the crown of my head, I don't mean lifting the chin. That's a common misconception. The crown of the head is an invisible line that connects from the tip of our ears. So more lifting the back of the head, feeling some slight stretch and length in the back of the neck. So lifting up to the crown, again, shoulders sinking down as if gravity is gently resting her hands on our shoulders. We feel the weight of our hands resting on our knees. We feel our feet firmly connected to the earth beneath us. Now, friends, I'm just going to gently allow my body to sway softly from right to left. And as I do so, I'm going to start to take a few soft breaths in through my nose and gently sign them out through my mouth. And I'm allowing each side to become progressively more gentle and more relaxed than the one that preceded it. Again, I'm just gently swaying back and forth. My teacher, Miss Debbie from Village Yoga, would say to pretend as if you are seaweed on the bottom of the ocean floor. So again, as we're gently swaying, maybe sighing, we relax the jaw, the cheekbones, and the forehead. We relax the shoulders, the elbows, and the hands. We relax the glutes, the knees, and the feet. And we just calmly breathe. My breath now is in and out through the nose. Now, friends, oftentimes in Qigong, we'll use visualizations of nature to help us meditate or relax. just a little bit further. So what I would like for you to do today is to imagine as if you have a little bowl of water in your belly. And as we're gently swaying back and forth, imagine the water just gently rocking from side to side, swooshing from side to side. Now we don't want the water to be splashing out of the bowl, so we're kind of controlled and relaxed with our movements and letting the water just gently swoosh from side to side. Again, our breath is calm in and out through the nose. Now, friends, I'm going to start to slow down my gentle rocking from side to side. And as I start to slow down my gentle sway, I imagine that bowl of water in my belly also resting and coming to center until eventually my body finds stillness. That little bowl of water in my belly is still as well. My breath is calm. I continue to scan, looking for places of tension, and I can relax. Again, I feel my feet gently pressing against the floor. I feel my hands gently resting on my knees. I feel the weight of gravity gently resting her hands on my shoulders. And I can feel the cool morning air touching my skin. My mind is calm, my body is relaxed. And I think that's a pretty good thing. I'm going to take a slow breath in now through my nose, friends. And then with a big old sigh, I'm going to let it go. On my next inhale, I'm going to press gently down on my knees, snugging my shoulders up to my ears. And on an exhale, I'm going to let them go. One more time, friends. I'm pressing down on my knees, bringing the shoulders snugly up to my ears as I inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to let them go with a sigh. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and take this sweatshirt off, and we're going to bring a little bit of movement into our bodies this morning, friends. I think that's why we're here. A little bit of self-care. Start greasing all these hinges. We're going to start, friends, by interlocking our fingers and just gently rotating at the wrist, spiraling, opening up all the connective tissue, not only in the wrist and the hands, also in the forearms as well. We'll just quickly make our way through some of these warm-up exercises this morning, making sure that we touch on all the major points. Give your hands a little vigorous shake now. Okay, great. Now we're just going to rotate at the elbows. So notice I'm going to bring my feet in a little bit closer. I'm rotating just primarily at my elbow joint. So you don't notice very minimal movement in my shoulders. Now, friends, I always like to do a few repetitions first, and then I start to bring in my breath. So now I will inhale as the arms come up, and exhale as my arms go down. Now, friends, we're moving at our own pace here. So if you're breathing slowly, you're moving slowly. If you're breathing quickly, you're moving a little bit more quickly, okay? We will just do, let's do one more rotation in this direction. And now we'll go ahead and switch ways. Now I will kind of fold my wrist in as I come up through center, and I'll kind of open up my hands, making my jazz hands as I go out. Again, trying to keep the movement primarily isolated to the elbows. Now, if we feel as if one of the arms is getting stuck or not lacking the fluidity in our motion, then we slow down even more. Again, focusing on calm breathing, mindful movement. And then we'll go ahead and call that a good with the elbows. Rest those hands. I'm going to open my knees up just a little bit more. And we'll start to work on the shoulders now, friends. This is a sequence that I learned from my very first yoga teacher, Miss Marianne Littlepage at Brenda Athletic Club, actually here in Turlock. And then I like to do it almost every class in honor of her. So what we do here, friends, is we inhale, arms up, palms connect. As we exhale, we take our arms out to our T position, palms facing forward. Now, as we exhale, the palms come together. We will interlock the fingers. Then we press away, tucking our chin. On an inhalation, our arms come up. On an exhalation, our arms go out to a T. As we inhale, the palms come together. I think I might have messed up on that first round. As we exhale, we press away, tucking our chin, rounding our upper back. We inhale, arms up. Exhale to a T. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, we press away, rounding the upper back, tucking the chin. As we inhale, we bring those arms back overhead. We can separate the fingers here if we need. As we exhale, arms go out to a T. We'll do one more set. We inhale. We exhale. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, release those arms all the way down, friends. Then we're going to lift the shoulders up. We're going to lift the elbows up. We're going to lift the wrist. We're going to lift the fingers. You'll feel some tension here, and then let everything relax down. Again, we lift the shoulders. We lift the elbows. We lift the wrist. We lift the fingers. We feel that tension, and then we relax everything down. So bringing our breath in, we inhale up, and we exhale down. Pressing away from the walls as the arms lower, inhaling up. Final time, we exhale down. Very good. Just relax your hands on your knees for a second and breathe. So from time to time, friends, you'll hear me give you the invitation to reconnect with your breath. And what I mean by reconnecting with our breath is we either A, want to audibly hear the breath entering or exiting the nostrils. B, we want to feel the body breathing, whether it be the rise and fall of the belly, the lungs expanding, or other sensations involved with the breath and the body. And third, we can mentally reconnect with the breath. I am aware, I am breathing in. I am aware, I am breathing out. So again, throughout our practice, not only today, but going forward, if you continue to join me, which I hope you will, you'll often hear me say, reconnect with your breath. And so that's what I mean by that. Okay, great, friends. So we like to open up the shoulders and this connective tissue. Then we go back to the neck. My teacher, Mr. Nick Lawfrey, Qigong instructor, fantastic instructor, always recommend opening up the upper body. Then we go back to the neck. Sometimes stretching the neck when it's cold can lead to less than pleasant results. So now what we're going to do, friends, is just simply tuck our chin down into our chest and start making half moons from right to left. Now, as I gently make these half moons, I can slowly start to expand my range of motion as the muscles of my neck warm up. I don't want to start with my full range of motion. I don't need to swing my chin back and forth like a pendulum. I can ease into it, okay? Again, my chin remains tucked. My shoulders are relaxed. I notice if my shoulders have crept up toward my ears. All right, friends, now we bring the chin back to the center and lift it back up. And so now again, we're going to lift the shoulders. We're going to lift the chin. We're going to drop the chin, drop the shoulders. Shoulders lift, chin lifts, chin drops, shoulders drop. Now we'll bring the breath in here, friends. Inhaling the shoulders up, chin lifts. Exhaling, chin drops. Shoulders drop. Again, inhaling as the shoulders lift. Chin lifts. Exhaling as the chin drops. And the shoulders drop. Again, one more time. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. The reason why we lift the shoulders first is to provide that little bit of cushion. So, friends, repeatedly lifting the chin and pinching the cervical spine isn't necessarily the greatest idea, especially if we have a limited range of motion in our neck. So whenever we're going to lift the chin, we typically like to have a little bit of cushion from the shoulders to prevent any kind of, overextension of the neck would be the best way to put it. All right, friends, we're gonna do a little seated cat-cow action now. So hands on those knees. And for our cat position, we gently press the knees away. I draw my navel in, I round my back, and I tuck my chin. Now to move into my cow pose from a seated position, imagine pulling my knees in toward my body, gently, not yanking on them. I lift my heart. You'll notice my chin will lift it, but again, I don't want to feel that pinching in the back of the neck. As I exhale, again, I press down on my knees. I pull my navel in, I round my upper back, and I tuck my chin. As I inhale, I draw the knees in toward me. I lift my heart. Maybe my chin will lift with it, feeling that nice stretch along the front of the chest. As we exhale, we round. So we're moving at our own pace now, friends. Maybe you want to move a little faster, a little slower than I am. But again, I draw the heart forward as I inhale, lifting the heart. And then exhale, I round, tucking everything in, rehydrating the connective tissue between the vertebrae of our spine. Now we'll inhale into our cow pose, lifting the heart, and then exhale back into more of a neutral position. Fantastic, friends. I think we'll take a quick twist here, and then we'll move to our feet, I believe. So what we're going to do, friends, just to demonstrate real quick, you guys stay where you're at, but I'm going to turn my chair so you can see me a little bit better. Then I'll turn back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have my right hand here. Well, we're going to start with our right hand gripping the side of the chair. I'm going to inhale my arm up, and then we're going to twist. And as I twist, I'm just going to slide this hand back to the chair. And again, I'll be sitting more toward the front of my chair here so I can slide that hand back and have plenty of room to twist while keeping my spine straight. You'll notice that I'm not leaning in my chair. We want to keep our spine straight like a flagpole. This is where elevating the hips really helps if we're sitting on the ground or if we're on a couch without cushions underneath. You notice how straight my spine is. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my chair back and we'll go ahead and do this. Okay, so I did a little test to see if I need to mirror things or not. If you don't know what I mean by mirroring, that just means I want us to be going the same direction. So I believe we'll be going the same direction if I give these cues. Now, go back and watch the video. I might be wrong too because, well, I'm not perfect. I'm a human and I make mistakes. But we're going to begin with taking, I believe, our right hand and gripping the side of the chair. I'm going to keep my chest square with the front of the room, but I'm going to inhale up my left arm. And I notice here my shoulders are relaxed. They're not crunched up to my ears. I'm very relaxed here. Now I'm going to take a breath in again, reaching up to those fingers. Now as I exhale, I'm going to slide that right hand back. I'm going to lower my left hand down. I'm going to look back over my right shoulder if it feels okay on my neck. Now, if it's too much of a twist on my neck, I can always keep my head in line with my torso. Now, again, friends, I'm not leaning in my chair, straight up and down, lifting through the crown of the head, back of the neck, breathing here. Again, we're never holding the breath. Even though we're holding postures, we're never holding the breath unless specifically instructed. In and out through the nose. Now, to come out of our twist, friends, we will inhale, coming back to center, both arms overhead. Left arm comes down, grabbing the side of the chair, softly. I inhale, reach up through my right fingertips. You notice my shoulders stay relaxed. Now, as I exhale, I move into my twist, lowering that right hand down, left hand slides back. Again, I'm not leaning in my chair. Flag straight like spine straight like a flagpole. Again, looking over that back left shoulder only if it feels okay on the neck. If it's too much of a twist, just bring the head back in line with the torso. Your choice. Again, not holding your breath, breathing. Pressing down firmly through both of your feet equally too, staying grounded to the floor. And then on our next inhalation, we come back to center, both arms overhead. We exhale our hands down to heart. We take another breath in here, yogis. And release your hands with a generous sigh. Great. Hands on the knees. So we got the hands and wrists. We got the elbows. We got the shoulders. We worked the spine. We did some twists. So I think we're going to go ahead and take it to our feet now, friends. So Again, you can always stay in your chair if you like. I'm going to move my chair to the side, give myself plenty of room. Okay, great. Good. So now we're going to kind of move into some of our Qigong stuff that we do. This first exercise is one of the quintessential warm-up exercises for Qigong, and it's called knocking on the doors of life. So the same as in my chair, I have my feet about shoulders width. Now I have a tendency of having too wide a stance, so I'm going to bring my stance in a little bit. My knees are very soft. Now, the only time we want our knees, our legs to be completely straight is if we're doing like a hamstring stretch or something, but we're not doing that. We're just resting softly in our knees. Now, I like to give people the kind of the imagery of imagining as if you have springs in your ankles and your knees and in your hips, and those springs are activated. So here, imagine those springs are compressed and we have a little bit of buoyancy in our lower body. Again, shoulders are relaxed. Now, friends, we're commonly going to use a thing called earth stance when we're doing our Qigong. Now, you notice my hands are flat as if they're resting on an imaginary table about the waist, about the height of my waist. My elbows are slightly wider than my shoulders. And when I'm here, friends, I want to feel as if I'm standing on soggy ground. So, imagine if you stepped on a field or some soft grass after a rain and your foot just kind of sinks in. That's how we want to feel when we're in this stance right here. My weight is shifted forward slightly. It's not in my heels. And everything is relaxed. We don't want to feel rigid at all. Now, oftentimes, friends, after an exercise, we'll find ourselves just for a breath or two resting in this earth stance, okay? So, for example, we would inhale, arms up. We call this pulling down the sky. Exhale, the hands float down. As the hands float down, we would settle into our earth stance. Okay? Great. But before all that, let's do our knocking on the doors of life. Again, one of the quintessential Qigong warm-up exercises. So rotating at the waist. Again, my legs are very soft. Now you'll notice, friends, that my front arm is gently slapping up against my abdomen, and this helps to stimulate blood flow to the vital organs. My backhand is making a very loose fist and knocking on either side of the spine. We try not to hit the spine directly. Ooh, hit the wall, stimp a little bit. And again, if you want to extend your range of motion, you can look behind you. We want our arms to feel like wet noodles here, friends. So notice if you're rigid, what part of your body is preventing you from relaxing and letting go. We want to feel like we're loosey-goosey here, friends. Relax fingers, wrist, hands, everything relaxed. Again, not only are we loosening up the lower back, hips, and waist, but stimulating blood flow to the vital organs. Now, where a lot of exercises in the West focus on biceps, triceps, quads, calves, things like that, which are great. We need to have healthy bodies. Qigong focuses more on the internal organs and the relationship with the vital organs and our emotions, our thoughts, and our feelings. So start to slow it down now. We don't stop all at once. We gradually slow down. And that's an exercise that I do every morning. Now, as I get back to center, my body and your body might feel the desire to sway a little bit. So to counteract that, again, we're going to pull down the sky. So we inhale, arms up. And then exhale, gently press the hands down. Do that 2 more times. We inhale up. I stand a little taller here. As I exhale, I soften those springs, compress those springs in my knees, feet, and hips. Again, inhaling up. And exhale, pulling down the sky. And at the bottom, this last repetition, we just settle into our earth stance. Maybe close the eyes, take a big breath in and out through the nose. And on an exhalation, whenever that is, release your hands down to your sides. Now, another exercise that's very common in Qigong is called spinal cord breathing. It's kind of a similar action that we did in our seated cat-cows, but we'll just do maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 today, because this is something that we will do regularly. So we bring our arms out to our cactus position here. You notice my hands here. Some people like to keep the hands soft or closed here. I like to open things up. This is just kind of my personal preference. Now, when I'm going to exhale, friends, you can relax if you like. I'm going to tuck my tailbone under. Now, I was 39 years old before I realized how to tilt my pelvis like this. True story. And I walked around like this for most of my life. And someone would say, stand up straight. And I would try to stand up straight like this and wonder why my back hurt. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we tilt the pelvis under when we sink the sternum, we collapse the elbows. See how round my back is here? Now, luckily, I got really gnarly C curve in my back, so it's really easy for me to round it. But I tuck my chin in. Now, as I inhale, I'm going to lift those sit bones. I'm going to lift my heart. I'm going to open up my arms. And again, my chin is going to lift with it. And as I exhale, I'm going to tuck and squeeze everything in. As I inhale, I'm going to open everything up. As I exhale, I squeeze everything in, opening up the back of the vertebra. As I inhale, I open up the front of the vertebra. There's a very common, or popular, I should say, expression from the East that you're only as healthy as the integrity of your spine. And we can do very little, friends, to actually affect the vertebra themselves, the bone, but we can have a very positive impact on the connective tissue that connects the spine together. And that's what we're hoping to improve the overall health of. So if you have, let's say, compression in the spine, things like that. Spinal stenosis comes to mind. My father suffered from that in later stages of his life. Compression in the lumbar spine. This helps to open up that vertebra. I guess we've done more than I expected to. Go ahead and relax those arms down by your sides, friends. Then again, we'll pull down the sky just once. So inhaling, arms up. Exhale, the hands float down at your own pace, maybe faster or slower than myself. And again, we settle into that earth stance just for a second. Now in Qigong, it's very, very common to stop and let the energy settle before we just move on to the next exercise. Here in the West, we have a tendency to check, next thing, check, next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. In Qigong, we take a second to settle and relax before moving on to the next thing. Okay? So we're going to do a little stretch now. This is a stretch that, again, I do in part of my daily practice. It's part of a longer set of practice or longer set of exercise called the 8 brocades that I'm sure I've been breaking it down in class in I Am Yoga and also the Senior Center. We're just going to do the first one of those today. It's called 2 hands support the heavens. And so we start with our hands at our waist. You'll notice, again, my feet or at shoulders width, knees, soft knees, everything relaxed, palms turned up at the waist. And my arms aren't tucked into my body. I want to feel as if my armpits can breathe. My instructor would say, imagine as if you have a golf ball or a lemon or something, gently keeping your armpits open. Now friends, just breathe naturally as I kind of explain this exercise. My hands are going to lift up. As they cross the face, the palms are going to turn. They come up overhead. You notice my palms are as flat as I can keep them. I'm going to gently press away here, continuing to breathe naturally in and out through the nose. Then when I give us the cue to exhale, the arms are going to come down. It's a nice big, kind of a big circle shape as my hands come down. Then I find myself right back in the position I started from. We call this holding the balloon in the lower position. Now, friends, again, the hands are going to come up. They're going to turn when they cross the face. The hands are going to press away, keeping the palms as flat as we can. Now, not only am I pressing up through my hands, I'm also simultaneously pressing down through my feet. I'm sinking my tailbone. I'm sinking my sternum. I'm keeping my shoulders relaxed. Now, I'm resisting the temptation to look up at my hands. On an exhalation now, friends, relax those arms down. Again, breathing naturally. We're not holding the breath. Moving right into the next repetition, we inhale as the hands come up. They cross the face. Again, we're going to press away, breathing naturally if you need. Again, so not just pressing through the hands, but pressing through the feet, sinking my sternum, sinking my tailbone, relaxing my shoulders. Now, friends, we're using a technique called dynamic unifying opposition. Breath in, exhale, lower the arms down. I'll continue to explain. Dynamic unifying opposition simply means stretching the body in 2 opposing directions to create one unified stretch along the entire body. This is a very prime example of that. Pressing through the hands, trying to press the ceiling away, pressing down through the feet. Again, finding that stretch along our whole body. Breathing here, friends, never holding the breath. One more breath in here. On your next exhalation, wherever that is, to get a nice big round circle coming all the way down. I think we'll do one more. Inhaling up. 2 hands support the heavens. We do this to regulate what's known as the triple heater or the triple burner, which helps to regulate our ability to exist within relationships, helping us not be so standoffish or needy or clingy, things like that. Breath in, exhale, arms all the way down. Again, you're probably really feeling it in those arms now, so we're just going to relax those wings by our side. Pausing here, and what we refer to as our Wu Ji stance. And my Wu Ji stance is very similar to my Earth stance, but my palms are slightly turned in. Again, I have a little space in my armpits, so I'm just very relaxed. Wu Ji is the circle that holds the yin and the yang. It represents a space of nothingness, an empty vessel. No good, no bad, just simply being. That is what we are in our Wu Ji stance. We just simply are. Great, friends. Then we'll pull down the sky, inhaling arms up, and exhale, floating them down. Settle into your earth stance. My tummy's rumbling. I hope you can't hear that through my ear pods. And then release your hands down. And then shake it out a little bit. Really shake it out. Let's do a full body balance. Let's really loosen it up. Full body shake. Now again, this might seem silly, but this is something very common practice in Qigong. Shaking things up. So friends, everything's relaxed. Fingers. I don't know if anybody saw my little test run video last night. I tried to be really quick, but I was doing some dance moves. Sandra's like, what are you doing? But it was fun. If you saw it, hopefully YouTube didn't see it and flag like, what? This is not a self-care channel. This is some weirdo dancing. But it didn't deactivate the channel, so I guess we're okay. So again, as we're shaking, we're stimulating the lymph system, improving our circulation throughout the whole body. So again, everything should be shaken. If you're not shaking vigorously like I am, let it open it up, friends. That's how we get the gunk out. Now we're going to start bringing in some purging breath. So we breath in through the nose, cleansing breath out through the mouth. Clearing breath in and cleansing breath out. Clearing breath in, cleansing breath out. And then we freeze. You might feel some tingling in your body. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I sure do. And this is our chi. Chi means energy. It's our prana, our life force energy, just waiting inside of us to be awakened. Sometimes, friends, when we're feeling lethargic or burnt out, it could be as simple as shaking our body to snap us out of it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, pulling down the sky. All right, friends. Now we're just going to do maybe, I think, one or two really quick Qigong flows. These are some of the exercises that people are a little more synonymous with Qigong. Well, there's many forms of Qigong, whether it be martial arts, spiritual, general health, medical, and we'll kind of touch on a lot of those. But the flowing exercises are what are most predominantly known with Qigong. Now, if you're standing and your legs are getting tired, you would like to sit back down, friends, these flows can be done either seated or standing. So if you're at home, your legs are getting tired, you're like, Jake, I need to take a break. Go ahead and pull that chair out, because these exercises that we're going to do next can be done either standing or sitting down. And that's one of the beautiful things about Qigong, friends, is 99.9% of it that we're going to do, at least in the context of these Thursday classes, can be done either seated or standing. So if you feel as if you have physical limitations that are going to prevent you from doing certain aspects of the practice, know, friends, that this is all inclusive, regardless of where you're at on your health journey. Okay, cool. So again, we find ourselves kind of in our Wu Ji stance. So again, our space of nothingness. Springs are compressed in the legs, shoulders are relaxed, chin is parallel. Tailbone is not scooped under, but it's just gently sinking down. Crown's gently lifting. Breathe. Now, as the arms lift up to about shoulder height, no higher than that, they don't need to be any higher, notice that my fingers are very relaxed. Elbows are relaxed. Then I'm going to sink my elbows down like stones. My wrist will follow. Then my fingers paint the walls down. And my knees, the springs compress even more. Now I'm going to release the springs, so standing a little taller as the arms lift again, just up to shoulder height. We don't need to be way up here. Shoulder height. And then sinking down. Springs compress. On an inhale, we come up. Arms will lift again to shoulder height. On an exhalation, everything will sink. So now, friends, once you feel as if you have the gist of what we're doing, feel free to move at your own pace. Again, I'm straightening my legs, lifting the arms, lifting my crown, and it feels like my lungs are two balloons that are going to lift me right off the ground. And as I exhale, I feel as if everything is sinking down like water. Breath in. And breath out. Now, again, if you're following me and I'm moving too slow, speed up a little bit. It's your breath that dictates the speed. We call this entering or exiting the flow, depending on if we're doing it at the beginning or ending of our practice. I'm just going to do one more time. Inhaling, the arms lift, legs straighten, lungs fill. And then my legs will stay a little bit more upright as my arms lower down. Again, I'm going to find myself first in my earth stance. And then I relax into Wuji. Then we pull down the sky, inhaling arms up. And exhale, float them down. Now we're going to do a little flow for the kidneys. What we're going to do here, friends, there's a few breaths, a few little bit of movement to this one. This one might be a little harder sitting down, but you can still do it from a chair if need be, okay? So what's going to happen, friends, is we're going to start with our forearms basically level with our shoulders here, and our palms are turned down. And then I'm going to turn my fingers down, making this diamond shape in front of my heart. I'm going to swipe across what we call clearing the vital organs, so clearing my heart and my lungs. Then my hands go to my kidneys as much as they can, and I'm just going to gently brush down the back of my legs. My hands are going to come around to the inside of my legs, and now as I inhale, I'm going to slowly roll up. When my hands get to my groin, they're going to float off the body like steam from a teapot. The arms come overhead. And then they're going to float down, and we'll find ourselves back in that starting position where the forearms level with the shoulders. So again, we make the diamond shape in front of the heart. We clear the vital organs. We will brush down the back of the legs. Hands come around to the inside of the legs. We start to roll it up nice and slow, nice and gently. When we get to the waist, the hands will float up like steam from the teapot. Arms come overhead. The hands will come down as we exhale. We clear the vital organs as we inhale. We exhale as we brush down the back of the legs. We inhale as we come up the inside of the legs. We exhale as the hands float off the body. We inhale as we connect with the divine wisdom above. And we exhale back, hands level with the shoulders. We repeat, make the diamond shape. On an inhale, clear the organs. On an exhale, brushing down the back of your legs. Coming around to the inside of the legs, gently rolling it up one vertebra at a time as we inhale. Exhaling as the hands float off the body like steam. We connect with that universal wisdom above as we inhale. And exhale. And by that, friends, it means whatever it means to you. There's no connotation, religious doctrine attached. We inhale. You'll feel free to include whatever form of spirituality or belief system that you already have in place, incorporate into your practice if you like. We inhale up the inside the legs. Exhale as the hands float off the body like steam. Now, friends, we imagine connecting with the universe. We inhale. Exhale, rain falls from the sky. We use that rainwater to clear the vital organs, to purify, and then flushing out the bladder and kidney channels as we go down and then back up the legs on an inhalation. Again, steam off the teapot, rising up into the sky, connecting with that universal wisdom, and then that wisdom falling down upon us like rain falling from the sky, flushing out the vital organs, purifying those meridians that run down the back of the legs and up the inside of the legs, rolling it up as we inhale, hands floating off the body as we exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. I got off a little bit. Exhale down the back of the legs, inhaling up the inside of the legs, exhaling as the arms float off the body. One final time, we inhale the palms down, but this time we float them down all the way to the waist, where for one final time we settle into our earth stance, breathing here. Again, feeling as if we're sinking into that soft ground. One more breath in. Exhale, release your hands. Now we're going to place our hands over our belly, friends, as we step the feet in side by side. Again, if you need to sit down, feel free. Now, men will place their right hand over the left. Women will place their left hand over their right. And we just take a few breaths into the belly here. So deep abdominal breathing. Breathing in, the belly will rise like a balloon. Breathing out, the navel draws back toward the spine. I'm going to take one more breath in here to my belly. And then release my hands with a sigh. And now we'll go ahead and return to our chairs for a second if we have not already. Wow, this has been a 45-minute class. So yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here pretty quick. How time flies, I guess. Wow. Okay, good. Good. Again, if you ever want a full class of Qigong or yoga, you can always find me either at I Am Yoga in Turlock, also Adventure Life Yoga in Houston as well. And if you're over the age of 50 and you want to join us at the Senior Center in Turlock, you can do that as well. Now, friends, we're just going to do a little quick closing meditation again to help us kind of ground down. Sometimes Qigong gets a lot of energy up to the brain, up to the heart, and we need to settle that back down to the belly. So what we're simply going to do is, again, men will place their right hand over their left, women their left over their right. We place the hands over the navel, and we just breathe calmly into the belly. In chair, chin is parallel with the floor beneath us. Shoulders relaxed. Now, over the next few weeks, I'll explain more about why we breathe into the belly like this. But for the sake of today, I'd rather have you guys just have some silence. as we take maybe another half dozen or so calm breaths into our belly. I'm going to take one more slow, deliberate breath in through my nose. Release my hands with a soft sigh. And friends, we will close today's practice by bringing our hands together in that namaste position of respect and admiration. And until we meet again, friends, I wish you peace, peace, perfect peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanks, friends. Till next time.